$1 million. These are just a few of them in the recent times. So yeah, so now various aspects that we've been discussing all this while, right? Whether it is in terms of idea validation or building a POC or a prototype, or even in terms of building a scalable product, or even having a go-to-market strategy or product market fitment, right? And even being investment ready before you even start talking to investors, right? So these are the various aspects that we help actually for startups from idea stage itself. So we have masterclass where we help startups in terms of validating the idea. The whole objective of that program is that first is validation, then helping them build a POC or prototype. So second engagement is rubrics, where we help them build an MVP. So we have mentors who are product architects, product development heads, so on and so forth. And in terms of Lab 32, so Rakesh from Whistle Drive was also part of Lab 32 as well. So there are more than 200 startups who've been able to be part of that engagement, where we help them on one-on-one basis with go-to-market strategy, product market fitment. And there are startups. So this startup that you see, Orange Shark, were able to raise their MRR by 200% from that same engagement. So we work on multiple agendas. Certain startups who already have revenue, so we help them increase that revenue. So for those startups who have not figured out, launching in the market, so we help them with the launch. And then investment readiness, where we help with pitch deck fine-tuning of financial projections. And also we have onboarded government registered valuers. So those of you who might not be aware that CAs are not authorized to give you valuations anymore. So they are the government registered valuers who are supposed to give you that. So we have onboarded such partners as well. And also in terms of doing mock pitches with actual investors. So what we do is, before the final pitch day, right? So we try to engage with the investors from day one itself as part of the engagement, once of course the pitch deck and financial projections are in place, so that we get the feedback from the investors, and then we work with the founders before the final pitch. So the whole and sole agenda of that engagement is to make investment ready and also help them get connected with investors. And then we also have AIC. Right now we are running a cohort in sustainability, where we have startups from waste ventures, waste recycling, and also energy tech, and also mental wellness, and even agri-tech. So that is similar to Lab 32. It's more of launch and scaling program. So those are some of the numbers in terms of the number of startups that have been able to impact over years. So these are all in terms of how do we execute the same program. And these are some of the impact numbers in terms of, in the recent cohort that we have concluded of Masterclass, we've been able to help 5 prototypes developed, and also we have addressed 2 hiring requests, and also in terms of, so startups that are part of Masterclass, 2 of them are selected for the next engagement called Rubrics. So Rubrics is that program where most of you might feel that, you might not have a co-founder who is a techie. Now, how do I build a scalable product which is market ready, which can give that customer delight with an amazing UI and UX, right? Or you are a hardware startup where you do not have access to prototyping, right? So this is that engagement of 5 months, where we have onboarded partners who can give you tech resources on contract basis, so that you need not hire them full time. Understanding your financial situation, we enabled that partnership as well. And for hardware startups, especially the ones in EV, drone, or robotics kind of domain, we have partnered with IIT Hyderabad. We partnered with a sister concern called T-Works, which is India's largest prototyping facility. And third, we also have partnered with CITD, which is Central Institute of Tool Design in Balnagar, in Hyderabad. So we work with startups all across India and even from Sri Lanka as well. So in case if you are from South, you want to explore somewhere close by, we also partnered with IIT Madras Research Park. In West, we have partnered with Makers Asylum in Goa as well. So we enabled this kind of partnership for our startups. And of course, we have AIC network of labs all across India that you can certainly leverage in terms of building your hardware prototype, or improvise your product, or improvise your component sourcing costs that you can cut down at later point through our connects. And eventually, in case if you need connects in terms of batch production or even mass production also, that can be enabled. So that is the whole and sole objective of this engagement, to help you build an amazing product. So these are some of the partners that I was referring to. So BGig is our partner for that contract-based tech resources that I was talking about. So yeah, and also in terms of interns, so we've enabled partnership with IIT Hyderabad, and as we speak, some of our startups might have already got access to HCU placements profiles as well for the current batch for internships, and even full-time as well. So AIC is that engagement where we help startups launch. So under this, we have 3 focus areas. In fact, 4. We've included semiconductors considering the current market scenario. So healthcare, mobility, and sustainability. So you would see these are the kind of opportunities that we've enabled for our startups under mobility program. So we work in fact, 30% of the EV policy of Telangana, we work very closely with them from the inputs that has been taken from our startups. So we worked in terms of understanding their challenges, and also from policy standpoint, what are those aspects that can help them overcome and also scale up. So these are some of the market access opportunities that we've enabled for that cohort. And for the current cohort, we have already, so current cohort is going to be focused on sustainability, as I was mentioning. So we've already enabled one such success stories that I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation. So Lab 32 is the program that we've been discussing all this while. So this is how the structure of program is going to be. So every step has a milestone, and so we would be assigning a GTM expert who would be working with you on one-on-one basis. And you know, both the founders and the GTM expert has to work hand in hand in terms of executing the milestones within the certain timelines, so that there is a tangible outcome by end of the cohort. So it's not generic GAN sessions happening where you take whatever you understand and then leave the rest. No, it's hands-on kind of engagement where, you know, there is sessions scheduled, and there is also a possibility where startups would be dropped out of the cohort in case if they're not actively engaged. So again, it's a serious commitment, right, between both the parties. So we want to have that kind of tangible outcome. So that is a whole engagement. These are some of the impact numbers in terms of the revenue growth and also employment generated pre-cohort and post-cohort through this program. So these are some of the, again, we'll share all these slides so you not run through or, you know, struggle to read all that. So T-Angel that we discussed again, just a quick overview and also the kind of investors. So last week itself we did a investor connect with VFounder Circle. We had 7 of our startup pitching to them, and 2 of them have already been shortlisted. So we do a lot of such initiatives on those lines. So yeah, Hala Mobility again, we welcome you on stage to give a quick heads up or share your experience in terms of fundraising in the current market situation. And congratulations once again to Team Hala. Shrikant, we welcome you on stage. Other co-founders also, please come forward. You okay with this? You want hand mic? Yeah, you can start.
Very good evening, everyone. I'm Shrikant, one of the founders of Hala Mobility. So essentially what we do at Hala is we are building a multimodal EV shared mobility platform that will enable third-party logistics, delivery companies, delivery personnel to quickly move towards EV, right? So we have this bundled solution of you can get rides, rentals, you know, network of charging stations, sales service from a single platform. We are essentially trying to create or, you know, increase this penetration rate of EVs in the market. And during this 18 months of journey that we had, there's been great impact that we have done in terms of zero carbon footprint, right? Like whatever we can do. Out of 740 scooters that are running on the road today, we have been running around 8 million green kilometers, saving around 717 tons of CO2 emissions. Also, the partners who have partnered with us, they have reduced their operational expense by 60%, right? Which is a great impact for the businesses also. As part of Lab 32 T-Angel program, you know, thanks to T-Hub, who has introduced us to Magnific Securities. And after like hundreds of conversations with VCs who said us like, you know, you're too early for us, you know, you have to reach us out at the later stages. Yes, we took a bet. We have invested a lot of monies into the startup, and we wanted some kind of a validation, and we have got a right partner, Magnific Securities, who took the bet, and you know, who actually has given us a lot of access rather than just money, but also a lot of access to debt, which is crucial for an asset heavy business like us, which is also capital intensive again. So now with this fund, we are looking forward to increase our fleet, of course, plus there is also a little R&D that we're doing on our battery swapping infrastructure. We'll soon be launching our battery as service in Hyderabad and moving across to different cities as well. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Team Hala. All the very best. And so this is, please have a seat. Thank you. So this is one of the success stories in the recent times, so that you'd be able to understand. So those of you who are not in a position to have an active engagement but still want to be part of this kind of engagements where virtually you want to be associated with T-Hub, so this is the engagement that you can explore, where you get access to more than 97 service providers, where you get access to AWS, of course, with $5,000 free credits, and also Zoho CRM 1 year free of cost, and also you get all the compliance support that you need. And if you want to do product launches also, so if you are associated with T-Hub, so this is the kind of place where you can do your product launches. And again, we would also be resharing on our social media channels as well about the same. So corporate innovation, so these are all, now hereafter, this is more of information kind of a thing, where if you are eligible for any of them, or if you need any of those supports, you can reach out to them. There are POC details that are also mentioned in each of these slides that you can look at. For those startups in drones, directly or indirectly related to drones, so we are currently running a program with AWS. Please do apply in case if you meet the criteria. Yeah. So we're also, for those startups who have your applications in defense, so IDEX is an amazing platform for you to explore, where you get all the defense PSUs on a platter, and you also get to bypass the typical tendering process and also get a grant of up to 1.5 crores. So it's an amazing opportunity. In case if you have a right kind of solution, please do reach out to again the same POC. They'll be able to help you on the further process. So international programs, for those of you who have raised anything to the north of 500K and are already preferably established in other international markets. However, if you are at least scaled up in India and are now looking for international market access engagements. So in fact, last week itself, we did one for US along with a partner from US, Falconex. And similarly, we're going to do some, the ambassador of Israel is going to be here. So any of you who are planning to expand to Israel, again, please do reach out to us. So these are some of those engagements. We have done something similar for Canada as well. Service providers, so this is just a quick overview in terms of the kind of service providers that you have. And once you are part of any of the engagements, even if you take up space or you be part of virtual engagement or any of the programs, you get to access all of them. So we've helped startups save more than $100,000 just through this. So it can help you save your OPEX to an extent. And again, for those of you who are thinking about multiple options for funding, we also have Startup India Seed Fund. So we give access to up to 40 lakhs of grant under Startup India Seed Fund. Sorry, it's not grant, equity-based funding under Startup India Seed Fund. And those of you who are registered in Telangana or have more than 50% of your workforce operating out of Telangana, you're also eligible for T Fund. It's Government of Telangana Fund. So we've already funded 4 startups under T Fund and 3 startups under Startup India Seed Fund. So if you can see, under SISF, we've invested 30 lakhs in Bye and 50 lakhs in SpoofSense. Under T Fund, we've disbursed 1 crore to Perspect.ai and Loric 25 lakhs and Millet Bowl 25 lakhs and Ongle 85 lakhs. So these are other options which are within our ecosystem that we can also leverage. You can also leverage. So yeah. Fund, again, if you already raised fund, but now you need support for in terms of raising your subsequent round of funding, we have a funding desk. It is not an engagement, it's pure play success fee kind of an engagement where we help you raise funds and there is a success fee attached to it. And marketing, so these are some of the, so now you might have seen on social media, Hala raising funding, we sharing that on our social media channels, so on and so forth. Similarly, your success is our success. So we'd be happy to share it in our network as well. So these are all point of contact. So for those of you who are wondering that, what are the various grants available from central government standpoint and from state government standpoint, so this is the link where you can find all of that. We have collated as many as possible, so it would be easier for you guys to access that. We'll share this PPT. You need not worry about zooming your phone and clicking these pictures. So hiring requests, so we did a joint placement drive with Task, another sister concern of Government of Telangana, and the sister concern of T-Hub in JNTU, where we had around 20,000 candidates and 13 of our startups were able to hire for free of cost. Yeah, I mentioned about HCU and IPE. where we've already shared the profiles amongst the startups who are looking to hire right now. And even you can hire interns from IIT as well as we speak, IIT Hyderabad. So co-founder matching, those of you who are looking for tech co-founders, this is an opportunity where we can enable that. And POC details are also mentioned. So EIR is an engagement where if you want to support startups who are in the journey that you've already gone through. So that is EIR kind of an engagement where you can be a kind of a mentor. So that is a point of contact details. So the next slides are going to be pure play Government of Telangana incentives, initiatives in terms of how can you get benefited in terms of, let's say, whether you are going for international expos or you are going for increasing your workforce, or in terms of your getting the reimbursement in terms of your SGST, all those. So criteria, eligibility and the process is clearly stated. Please go through the same, and in case if you are eligible, please do avail all this. So T-Series, another incentive for social impact startups. So like Startup India, you can similarly log into Startup Telangana portal as well with the same login. Again, you get to access Startup Telangana ecosystem as well. So TAM is another initiative in partnership with NASSCOM. I acknowledge some of the representatives are also here. Thank you for being here. So these are the initiatives that they are doing from their side for those of you who are working on startups in AI space. So you can certainly explore this. It's an amazing rev-up acceleration program that Government of Telangana is doing in partnership with NASSCOM. Again, POC details are also shared. Their representatives are also here. Feel free to reach out to them. So RICH is another sister concern under T-Hub, which acts as a bridge between research institutes in Telangana and also corporates. And in fact, any health tech startups here? Okay. Any agri-tech startups here? Okay. So those of you who are looking to health tech startups, in case if you're looking to get access to hospitals for your clinical trials, this is where you're supposed to talk to. They're working with 33 different hospitals. And also in terms of research institutes, so we've already enabled connecting our agri-tech startups with Agri University, ICRISAT, and various other, for health tech again, we have connected with CCMB as well for the wet labs. And even HCU also has wet labs. So we can enable those kind of access for you from our side in their support. So T-Works is India's largest prototyping facility. So I was talking about hardware bit, right? Any hardware startups, prototyping. So there are partners. In fact, we also have a couple of other partners who can help you with the same. Even you need job work, they'd be able to help you. So task. So in case if you're looking to hire freshers, or if you know any freshers who need to upskill and also get placed, please ask them to reach out to task. So these are the POCs for multiple engagements that we discussed about. So yeah, going forward, so next step is that you might have seen the boards on multiple tables. So I'll announce one by one. So please do listen to that carefully and move to that respective table. You need not remember everything. You just remember which sector or which table is relevant for you. Just go sit there. Is that clear? Guys, is that clear? Networking doesn't happen with this energy. So is that clear? Yeah. Okay. So now whatever we had to present, it's done. Okay. Now it's all about how can we help you help each other. That's all. Okay. Then we would have open networking as well, and also please don't forget samosa and tea, that is also arranged. Okay? And with mirchi.
You told this earlier too.
Huh?
You told this earlier.
I didn't want to tell it at the point. So later, you know, they leave early. So yeah, so we have edtech here. Any edtech startups directly, again guys, we just have 10 sectors here, and on our website itself we have 100 sectors. So we might not be able to have 100 sectors here. Even if it is not directly related, if it is remotely related, or you have common clientele with them, probably you might be a fintech startup. I don't know whether there is a fintech table. If it is not there, or if it is there, so see, you can look at multiple ways, right? Either you can partner in terms of offering, or in terms of common clientele as well that you can collaborate. Any edtech startups, please move here. Edtech startups, guys. Once we announce, if you can move, that makes a job easier for all of us, and we can start off immediately. Guys, you need not wait for rest of the show to start, but please keep your volume low so that others would be able to listen what I'm trying to tell. Yeah. So first step, guys, once you are clear with the tables that you're sitting in. So please give a quick overview. I understand you're doing a lot of things, but try to summarize all that in 30 seconds so that others can also speak and you can explore more in terms of synergies. Okay? Thank you. And this is SaaS, any sector, SaaS startups, you can move here. And that is health tech table, any health tech, med tech startups, please move to this table. Sustainability startups, whether you have directly or indirectly related product. Guys, if SaaS